So are you a business owner?
I sure am.
Well, how long have you been an entrepreneur?
I've been an entrepreneur since I'm 18 years old.
How old are you now?
You know, I'm 67 now.
You're not 67.
Yes, I am.
Is it safe to say that?
It's a smooth talk. Health is wealth. It really is.
Do you think a lot of entrepreneurs neglect their health?
I think, look, the most important thing in life is about taking shots. And the most important thing is you have to have a partner who's with you all the way, and my wife has stood with me since the day we got married, and that's the most important thing.
When you first met her, when you were dating her early on, how did you know that that was your life partner? What did you see?
You just know, man. You know what? You just know. You really do. It's like the first house I bought. You walk in and you go, this is my house. I've lived my life on emotion, and you never look back, because as an entrepreneur, you win a bunch, you lose a bunch, and I've been blessed to win a little bit more than I've lost. But the most important thing is, at the end of the day, you don't want to wake up when you're 60 or 70 or 80 years old and look in the mirror and say, you know, at 20 I had this idea, at 30 I had an idea, and you didn't do it, because that's the kind of stuff that makes you crazy.
5 years in to that business, to that venture, Ramon Simone runs off with your PA.
Yes, she was much prettier than I, 10 years younger. I don't blame him. In hindsight, I don't blame him. At the time, I didn't like it.
He was your boyfriend at the time?
He was my boyfriend at the time. He was my 51% business partner, because he took 51%, he said, because he was financing the firm, which was fair. I was the managing partner. I liked the way that sounded. Yes, but he ran off with my secretary the 7th year we were in business, yeah. That was shocking. I didn't expect that. I mean, if he didn't run off with her, I would have never started the Corcoran Group. I would still be Corcoran Simone working with him. I mean, that got me off my butt to start my own company without his help right away, because I was a scorned woman, and I couldn't stand seeing them throw kisses at each other during the workday. It drove me crazy.
My name is David Omari, and I do YouTube automation, and basically what that is just a passive way of doing YouTube without showing your face. I started YouTube probably like 10 years ago, you know, just fresh out of high school. I literally had a video get 100 views in a month, and I was like, man, for a channel with no followers, no subscribers, that's pretty crazy. Like, how am I getting views on something like that? And so I said, let me try it again. Ended up doing another video. That video ended up getting like 500,000 views in like 2 weeks. Made like $5,000, and from there I just never stopped uploading.
Man, so at this point, what's been like the most views you've ever gotten on a channel?
So the most views, probably one of my bigger gaming channels, got 1 billion views. And that was like my first like endeavor and jump into YouTube automation.
Billion?
1 billion views.
How much do you generate from 1 billion views?
I'm gonna actually show you. Let me.
Oh, you got the analytics on your phone?
Yeah, let me pull up the dashboard.
Oh, you got the YouTube studio loaded up.
Let me click that. Let me show you that lifetime on this channel real quick, man. Show it to the camera.
So on this channel with 1 billion views,
900.
But one thing, you know, the jumps are still pretty insane. Going 0 to million. How did you go from 1 million to I think you guys do $1 billion a year now selling product? Like, how did you guys go from 1 million to 1 billion a year?
Reinvest. All the money that came along, we reinvested and did good things for the hairstylist, and then started schools. We have over 100 schools, Paul Mitchell schools. So you train the new hairdresser how to be a great hairdresser and be successful. Well, of course, we're doing it with Paul Mitchell products and our knowledge. And we also went into education. Besides the education of how to use our products, we went nationwide. At one time, we had, I think, 850 what we call associates that worked for us part-time, top hairdressers that we taught to be stylists. They would hold classes for everybody on the latest hairstyle, the latest techniques, the latest business ideas. So we kept ourselves involved in the company to help our customer become more prosperous, because we're there. Be better hairdressers, better business people. And that certainly contributed to our growth tremendously.
My name is Maksud Agajani, and I own this jewelry store right here.
And how long have you been doing that?
19 years almost.
How'd you get into it?
I'm installing a Counter-Strike on my friend's computer. Somebody noticed me and installing, and then I had a little internship. I found a jewelry store, long story short. I started photographing jewelry there and putting it up on eBay.
We know you've worked with like a whole bunch of celebrities, and there's a whole bunch of jewelry stores over here. Right. So what like separated you from everybody else?
Well, I guess it's my style of business and my staff, my collection of jewelry, and how I market on social media.
What's like the most you've ever made in 1 year from this business?
We sell close to $40 million of jewelry per year.
So what's the best piece of financial advice you've ever received throughout your lifetime?
The battle is within. People are looking what to do and you know, what decisions or whatever it is. The battle is within. You have to fix your own behavior, your own mistakes, and then the output will be much better.
Who am I here with today?
Robert Herjavec from
those-
Shark Tank.
For those that don't know, what industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
I'm one of the biggest people in the world in cybersecurity, and now AI. I've been doing it for a long time, since I was 21.
What did you see early on that made you want to pursue this business?
You can get rich by following a trend. You can get wealthy by creating a trend.
Did you come from a lot of money?
No, man. We were like very melodramatic. I came to Canada on a boat. My parents crossed the border in the middle of the night. I mean, it was just a classic rags through riches story.
So what was your turning point to financial freedom?
When I was 12 years old, I didn't want to be poor. That was my motivation. I think in life, you're either highly motivated, and I wasn't, or really bad stuff happens to you and you gotta make a decision. Either you accept your life or you change.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Nothing changes unless you change.
Throughout your career, what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
500 million. On income basis, I probably 18 million on an income basis. But here's the key. You can get very rich making income. It's very hard to get wealthy making a big income.
I'm an entrepreneur. I've been building businesses since 2010 and then did a lot of things. 2019, I started buying businesses, bought the first company in Newcastle, did about £2.5 million in revenue.
How old are you?
I'm 37, turning 38 next month.
When you bought the first business?
31. So far, I've done about 5 transactions, bought 5 companies, built 2 groups. My first group is a steel fabrication group. We got about 300 full-time employees across the UK, doing about £33 million in revenue, about £2 million pre-tax profit. Last year, I set off on this journey to build a HVAC group from scratch, from literally zero 12 months ago. We're trying to take that to 100 million pounds in like 2.5 years.
I love that, man, because traditionally it's like a lot of grey hairs and older people that...
Yes, sir. Look, man, let's just boil this shit down to like simple Simon, right? What are you actually trying to do? You're solving people's problems, right? So whose problem are you solving? What is the constituency that you're helping? First of all, the business owners. For one reason or the other, they may have owned that company for generations. They may have run it for the last 20, 30 years. For one reason or the other, maybe they're open to the idea of selling.
You were running a very successful record label and record store, and you decided to take this huge bet to start an airline.
It really was out of frustration of flying on other people's airlines, having bad experiences. In those days, you know, if you flew on, say, British Airways, it was a monopoly. You maybe got a lump of chicken dumped in your lap. There was no entertainment. The cabin crew certainly didn't enjoy working for the company. Somebody came along to us with the idea of a business airline only. I didn't think that would be very exciting to run, but I thought a really good quality airline for everybody, including business people, you know, would be something special to run. And so ended up ringing up Boeing, ending up being able to lease a second-hand 747 from him.
You know, I was in London, just had left my T-Mobile job. I was there, and a friend of mine says, listen, there's this company from California looking to find somebody to run Europe. It's too small a job for me. Maybe you should take a look at it. So I did, and it was Google. And they had been public for about a month and a half, maybe. Actually, they just gone public when I was interviewing them. And it used to be a small part of Google's European business then. And I was lucky enough to sort of convince some people that I could go work with them and commercialize Google in Europe, which I did from 2004. It was amazing. It was like being on a rocket ship. Google grew from a $20 billion company, now it's a $3 trillion company. I think it was $2 billion in revenue when I joined, and I left on $64 billion, $62 billion. So it's rare that you can in your lifetime get to see a company scale 30 times in a span of 10 years. So I went from trying to explain to people what Google did to Google becoming a verb.
Yeah.